Mark is a dedicated employee who has devoted many years to his company. Through his consistent hard work and commitment, he has become a valued member of the team. Mark's reliability and professionalism have not gone unnoticed, earning him the respect of his colleagues. Over time, he has built strong relationships within the workplace, fostering an environment of trust. His positive attitude and willingness to help others have made him a go-to person for advice and support. Mark's journey reflects the impact that dedication and integrity can have in shaping a successful career. Mark was taken by surprise when he received notice of a significant reduction in his salary. The announcement came without warning, leaving him puzzled and concerned about his financial stability. The only explanation provided was a brief mention of company budget cuts, offering little clarity on the specifics behind the decision. Mark found himself searching for answers, but the details remained frustratingly vague. This abrupt change forced him to reconsider his plans and adjust to a new reality, all while grappling with uncertainty about his future at the company. Mark sits at his desk, sifting through emails and memos, searching for any clue that might explain his sudden pay cut. Each conversation with his manager leaves him more bewildered, as the explanations seem vague and inconsistent. He replays recent events in his mind, wondering if he missed an important announcement or made a critical mistake. The lack of clear communication only deepens his frustration. Mark feels a growing sense of unease, unsure whether the decision was personal, financial, or something else entirely. The uncertainty weighs on him, making it difficult to focus on his work. Mark soon uncovers a troubling truth behind his recent salary reduction. The funds saved from his pay were not reinvested into the team or company improvements. Instead, they were used to facilitate the promotion of his manager's friend. This individual, as Mark learns, does not possess the qualifications typically required for such a role. The revelation leaves Mark feeling betrayed and raises serious concerns about fairness and transparency within the organization. It becomes clear that personal connections, rather than merit, have influenced key decisions. Mark felt a surge of emotion as the situation unfolded before him. His initial instinct was to react quickly, perhaps even defensively, but he paused. Instead of letting his feelings dictate his actions, Mark took a deep breath and chose to remain composed. He recognized that acting on impulse could escalate matters or lead to unintended consequences. By staying calm, Mark gave himself the space to think clearly and assess the situation rationally. This decision not only helped him maintain control, but also set a positive tone for those around him. Mark understood that seeking justice required more than impulsive reactions or heated confrontations. He chose a path defined by patience and precision, carefully gathering evidence and considering each step before moving forward. Rather than letting anger dictate his actions, Mark focused on building a strong case, ensuring that every detail was accounted for. His resolve was unwavering, driven by a belief that true justice is achieved through diligence and integrity. By relying on methodical planning, Mark aimed to create lasting change, confident that a thoughtful approach would ultimately prevail. Mark notices subtle discrepancies in the department's financial records, prompting him to take a closer look. He begins by quietly reviewing transaction logs and expense reports, searching for patterns that might indicate misuse of funds. To avoid drawing attention, Mark accesses documents during off hours and keeps digital copies of suspicious entries on a secure drive. He cross-references invoices and receipts, carefully noting any irregularities or missing documentation. As his investigation deepens, Mark compiles a growing file of evidence, ensuring each piece is meticulously documented. Throughout the process, he remains discreet, determined to uncover the truth without alerting those who might be involved. Mark begins by identifying the key sources of information relevant to his investigation. He systematically requests access to financial records such as invoices, bank statements, and expense reports, ensuring that all transactions are accounted for. In addition, Mark reviews internal communications, including emails and memos, to uncover any discussions or decisions related to the case. He organizes the collected documents chronologically and categorizes them by type, which helps in spotting inconsistencies or patterns. Throughout the process, Mark maintains a detailed log of all materials gathered, ensuring transparency and traceability for future reference. Mark faces significant challenges as he tries to keep his investigation hidden from both the manager and his colleagues. Every step he takes to gather evidence must be carefully planned to avoid raising suspicion. He often finds himself working late hours, sifting through documents and emails in private. The risk of being discovered is constant, forcing Mark to balance his regular duties with his covert activities. Trust becomes a major issue as he cannot confide in anyone without jeopardizing the entire case. The pressure of maintaining secrecy weighs heavily on him, making each decision critical to the success of his efforts. Mark meticulously mapped out every step of his plan, leaving nothing to chance. He studied the manager's routines and identified moments when surveillance was at its lowest. By blending his actions into the daily flow of work, Mark avoided drawing unnecessary attention. He communicated only through secure channels and made sure to erase any digital traces. Mark also anticipated possible reactions from the manager's allies, preparing subtle diversions to keep them occupied. Through patience and precision, he ensured that his activities remained invisible to those who might suspect him. Mark meticulously gathers a range of documents, including internal emails, financial statements, and transaction records. These materials reveal unauthorized transfers of company funds to accounts linked to senior management. Additionally, Mark uncovers a pattern of contracts being awarded to firms owned by close associates of the executives, often at inflated prices. Expense reports show repeated reimbursements for lavish, non-business related activities. The evidence also highlights instances where standard bidding procedures were bypassed in favor of hand-picked vendors. Together, these findings paint a compelling picture of both financial misconduct clear favoritism within the organization. Mark faced a difficult choice after uncovering troubling information within the company. Concerned about potential repercussions and the need for impartiality, he decided to send an anonymous report to the board of directors. By choosing anonymity, Mark aimed to ensure that his findings would be taken seriously without risking his own position or inviting personal bias. His report included detailed evidence allowing the board to investigate the matter thoroughly. Mark believed this approach would best serve the company's interests while protecting his identity and maintaining the integrity of the process. Upon receiving the anonymous report, the board was immediately struck by the seriousness of the allegations. The contents of the report raised significant concerns about potential misconduct within the organization. Recognizing the importance of maintaining transparency and accountability, the board members convened promptly to discuss the matter. After careful deliberation, they unanimously agreed that a thorough and impartial investigation was necessary. This decision reflected their commitment to upholding the organization's integrity and ensuring that all concerns were addressed appropriately. The board then began outlining the steps required to initiate the investigation and identify the appropriate resources to carry it out. The board began its investigation by first gathering all relevant documentation related to the allegations. They then conducted a series of interviews with key personnel, including staff members and management, to gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation. Independent auditors were brought in to review financial records and operational procedures. Throughout the process, the board maintained strict confidentiality to protect the integrity of the investigation. Findings from both the interviews and audits were carefully analyzed to identify any discrepancies or areas of concern. The board then compiled a detailed report summarizing their conclusions and recommendations for further action. As the investigation progresses, a troubling pattern begins to emerge. Financial records reveal a series of unauthorized transactions, each carefully concealed within routine expenses. Further examination uncovers that the manager repeatedly approved reimbursements for personal purchases, disguising them as business costs. Interviews with staff highlight inconsistencies in the manager's explanations and a reluctance to provide clear documentation. Over time, these findings collectively point to a consistent misuse of company funds and a deliberate attempt to deceive both colleagues and upper management. The evidence leaves little doubt about the manager's ongoing dishonest behavior. Over the past several weeks, a series of troubling incidents have begun to surface, all pointing toward the manager's questionable conduct. Financial records reveal discrepancies that cannot be easily explained, while multiple employees have come forward with consistent accounts of policy violations. These developments have not gone unnoticed by upper management. As the evidence mounts, concern is spreading among senior leaders who are now questioning the manager's integrity and decision-making. The pattern of irregularities has prompted a thorough internal review, signaling that the situation is being taken very seriously. Tensions are rising as the organization seeks to understand the full scope of the issue and determine the appropriate course of action. As the investigation's findings are presented, the manager sits in tense anticipation. The atmosphere in the room shifts, growing heavier with each detail revealed. Evidence is laid out methodically, leaving little room for doubt or denial. The manager's initial confidence gives way to visible discomfort as the implications become clear. Colleagues exchange uneasy glances, sensing the gravity of the situation. In this pivotal moment, the manager must confront the reality of the evidence and the consequences that may follow. As a result of their actions, the manager faced significant consequences. Disciplinary measures were implemented, which included a formal warning and mandatory participation in training sessions. These actions were recorded in the manager's personnel file, impacting their professional reputation within the company. The incident also led to a loss of trust among colleagues and upper management, making it more difficult for the manager to be considered for future promotions. In some cases, such consequences can even result in demotion or termination, depending on the severity of the misconduct. Overall, the manager's career trajectory was adversely affected, highlighting the lasting impact of such disciplinary actions. The investigation has left a significant mark on the company's culture, prompting both reflection and change among employees and leadership alike. It has brought to light the importance of upholding ethical standards, reinforcing that integrity is not just a value on paper, but a guiding principle in daily operations. The company's response to the investigation sends a clear message. Accountability and transparency are non-negotiable. This experience has encouraged a renewed commitment to ethical practices, fostering an environment where concerns can be raised without fear of retaliation. Ultimately, the investigation serves as a reminder that a strong culture of integrity is essential for long-term trust and success. After the resolution, Mark experiences a profound sense of relief. The tension that had weighed on him for so long finally begins to lift, replaced by a quiet calm. He reflects on the outcome and feels that justice has been served, bringing closure to a difficult chapter in his life. This sense of fairness restores his faith in the process and allows him to move forward with greater confidence. Mark's emotions are a blend of gratitude and reassurance, knowing that the right decision was ultimately reached. Ethical behavior serves as the foundation of a just and harmonious society. Acting with integrity, even when faced with adversity, helps to build trust and respect among individuals and communities. Perseverance in the face of injustice is equally vital, as it demonstrates resilience and a commitment to positive change. Those who persist in upholding their values, despite challenges or unfair treatment, often inspire others and contribute to meaningful progress. Together, ethical conduct and steadfast determination create a powerful force for overcoming obstacles and fostering a more equitable world. Mark's journey offered valuable insights not only for himself, but for the entire organization. His willingness to embrace change and learn from setbacks demonstrated the importance of resilience in the face of challenges. The organization benefited from his example, fostering a culture that encourages open communication and continuous improvement. Over time, These changes led to increased collaboration and a stronger sense of trust among team members. Mark's experience serves as a reminder that growth often comes from adversity and that positive transformation is possible when individuals and organizations are willing to adapt and learn.